What's going on, y'all? I want to give you my review of the brand new PreSonus PD-70. This is PreSonus's dynamic broadcast microphone, and I'm speaking to you right now through a PD-70 going through a PreSonus RC500 with no additional processing. Let's take a closer look. So now I'm speaking into the PD-70 going into the PreSonus Quantum Pre with the gain at 60 dB, which is the highest it'll go. So in the box, you get the mic and some documentation. The mic comes encased in a styrofoam shell. There's no carrying case for the mic, so if you want to transport it, you will need to keep the box. And taking it out the box, the first thing I realized is that this mic is heavy. Sweetwater shows it weighing in at 1.87 pounds, and right away, what I'm going to say about the weight is that if you're going to use this with a boom arm, you need to get a really good boom arm. I recommend the Rode PSA-1, but those cheap boom arms off Amazon probably not going to support a mic with this weight. So keep that in mind. And just looking at the design of this mic, to people who don't know any better, they will think that this is a SM7B. But when I first recorded through this mic and listened back, I immediately told myself that I didn't like it, how it sounded, but I couldn't put my finger on why I didn't like how it sounded. And then I realized what it was. After listening back a few times, I realized that this mic just doesn't have the low mids that I'm used to hearing. And looking at the frequency response, it confirms what I was hearing. There's a roll off probably at about 80 hertz, it looks like, and it's also overall a bright mic. And looking at the frequency response again, just confirms that. You've got a really nice bump going on up in the high mids before it starts to roll off on the high end. So with it being such a bright mic, sibilance is certainly a possible issue with a lot of voices with such a bright mic. We're going to get into some sound examples shortly, but just looking at the description for the PD-7, it says that a broadcast dynamic microphone optimized to capture the spoken word with pristine clarity and warmth for podcasting, streaming, and more. So that's their description. I don't know about the warmth part, because with it not having that low mids, that's where that warmth is. But it's just, what I realize is that it's not what I'm used to with the broadcast mics that I normally use, that you hear me do my videos. It has that low mid bump, and that's what I'm used to hearing. So then I had to really ask myself, is this mic, do I not like the sound, or is it not what I'm used to? But let's get into some sound examples. Okay, so we're here in Studio One, and we'll do some sound tests here for the PD-70. Got a couple files here. We'll start with the first file, which is just me recording room tone with the PreSonus Quantum Pre at 60 dB of gain, which again is the highest it can go. And so this is just the room tone. Okay, so that's pretty impressive. We're getting like negative 79 dB there. The next file is with my TV in the background. And now this third file is me talking with the TV on in the background. I'm now speaking into the PD-7 with my TV on, which is about 6 feet away, to see how it rejects that background noise. Okay, so I feel like that was pretty good. You really couldn't hear the TV on through with me speaking into the microphone. So it's definitely getting a good noise floor there. This next file is just me testing the plosives. Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers. A peck of pickled peppers Peter Piper picked. If Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers, where's the peck of pickled peppers Peter Piper picked? So the windscreen on here does a good job of handling plosives. This next two files, well, no, this file is me speaking just right up on the microphone to get some proximity effect. I'm now speaking into the PD-70 right up on the microphone to hear the proximity effect. All right, and these last two files are me speaking into the PD-70 with the windscreen and without the windscreen. I'm now speaking into the PD-70 without the windscreen to see how much it rejects the plosives. I'm now speaking into the PD-7 with the windscreen to see how it rejects the plosives. So you can definitely hear the word plosive was getting a pop without the windscreen, and with the windscreen on, it wasn't. So the windscreen does a good job of rejecting plosives. I am hearing those S's really come through, and that's because, like I said, this is a bright microphone, so you definitely run the danger of getting some sibilance in vocals that you record. Okay, let's get into some final thoughts. So the PD-70 is certainly a good-looking microphone. If you're podcasting or streaming and you're on video, this mic is going to help you look more professional because of its resemblance to a SM7B. Also, you're hearing me at 60 dB of gain through the PreSonus Quantum Pre. That's as high as it goes, and I'm getting plenty gain out of this mic. So a lot of broadcast mics, people recommend products such as the Cloud Lifter. I have a Cloud Lifter, and I do not feel like I need to use it with this microphone. I'm getting plenty gain just from the audio interface preamp. As far as the sound, it's not what I'm used to for a broadcast microphone. I would like to hear more low mids and less highs. I recorded an episode of my podcast, the Faders Up podcast, with this mic today. And it's a podcast where we discuss pro audio, but listening back is definitely something I'm gonna have to EQ to get it to sound the way that I want it. And I feel like most podcasters don't want to EQ, their vocals after recording them. But even though this mic is not what I'm used to in a broadcast microphone, it's not a bad thing because my other broadcast mics have that low mid bump, they have that roll off in the high end. This mic is giving me something different. I mean, if you're someone who has a lot of low end in your voice, this mic may fit you very well. But it's certainly something that you need to try out yourself and see if you like it. If you're familiar with SM7Bs and Rode Procasters and some of these other popular dynamic broadcast microphones, this, in my opinion, is going to sound very different than those. But again, it's something that you need to hear for yourself and decide if you like it. And again, I don't know if I don't like it or if it's just not what I'm used to. Like, this is a very different sound for me for a broadcast microphone. And I'll say that I feel like PreSonus is missing a marketing opportunity here. They already have recording bundles that come with the interface, headphones. You get Studio One and a microphone. There's no reason why this shouldn't already be bundled in a recording package for podcasters where you can get a PreSonus interface, Studio One headphones, and this mic all in a bundle. But that's my review of the PreSonus PD-70. Any questions, comments, let me know, and I'll catch y'all next time. I want to invite everyone to check out my new podcast, the Faders Up podcast. It's a podcast about pro audio. I've got me and 3 other Nashville professionals. We're discussing pro audio topics, pro audio lifestyle. And it's available on Apple Podcasts and it's available on Spotify. So check it out, rate it, let me know what you think.